Welcome to Now Boarding.
Welcome to our latest Now Boarding podcast. See, I can't get it right, can't I? Oh, I've only been doing it a few hours. We're talking all things, well, nearly all things Australia today. And I'm very pleased to have Olivia and Leah with me. Now, both of these young ladies work with me in the business. And Leah, if I start with you, you work in the care team. Very important role. In fact, you look after the care team, don't you?
I do. I look after them and I make sure the back office is running as smoothly as possible and keep that wheel turning.
You do, but what's the benefits for our customers? Because that's important. With it being a family business, I think you are quite invested in the family business, aren't you, and how important it is. Your job is to make sure, I guess, that our customers looked after post-booking.
Yeah. So, I guess the customers know they can ring us at any time of the week and we'll be there. Talk them through anything, give them the tickets, confirmations, anything like that. So, yeah.
It's a great job.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And it's well appreciated. I know the feedback we get from our customers. Yeah. Olivia, you work with me much closer, don't you?
Yeah.
In the marketing, is it? Marketing?
Technically, I'm marketing and content, but
Technically.
a lot of marketing. All of this. Me.
Well, it is an interesting world, and certainly someone who's as old as I am. I think it's people like you that keep me young. And keep me interested in this wonderful industry, hence the podcast. Now, listen, both of you, quite an interesting story, this, isn't it, Australia? Mm-hmm. Because you both went out there to work, but for different reasons you both went out there. Mm-hmm. And now it's interesting, you come back to the UK and you're both working with me in the business. So, Olivia, your story, why did you go out to Australia? Because it wasn't just to get a job, was it?
No, it goes back generations, much like the business.
Oh, come on, let's hear a bit about that.
So my grandparents were £10 poms. So they went out there with my uncles.
I got it. What's a
£10
What's
pom?
a £10 pom?
Long story short, it was something
Sounds like an expensive apple. Go on.
that the government brought out. It wasn't the official name of the thing. That's just what they called them when they went out there. So they gave people £10 tickets to go and live and work in Australia. So they did that. Then came back to England after living there for a while.
Yep.
Had my mum. Then they went back out there again. So then she grew up there. Came back with her, but my uncle stayed over there. Then obviously my mum had me. I've spent my whole life just listening to stories about Australia, and obviously, they ring us up at Christmas, good day, like. And then
What time would that be?
to be fair, they're pretty good at doing it because they wake up quite early.
Yep.
So it'd be like early evening.
They see everything before. They see the future, don't they? Eh? Bloody Aussies, right?
Obviously, birthdays, it's a nightmare because technically they've already had it and you're going, happy birthday. Anyway, and then, so my family were planning on going out there. It had been, oh, no, I've missed a part. We then moved over there, my family. Oh. So me, my older sister, my mum, my dad. Then we came back. Then we planned to go out there just for a holiday, but it had been over 20 years since my mum had seen her brothers and that side of the family. And it just so happened that was when I finished uni. So I said, screw you guys, I'm having a long holiday. I'm going for as long as I can.
Tax dodging.
Yeah. So I ended up being out there for 6 months. So a very long-winded way, but it's always been something that has been very close to me. It's not just Australia. It's like personal. That side.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to talk about some of your experiences because you didn't just go out there and sit around with the family and watch Neighbours and all that sort of stuff, did you? No, you definitely, there's more to it. We're going to talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
Leah, come on, why did you go out there?
So I actually travelled a lot of Southeast Asia when I finished uni, and I really wanted to do Oz. Kind of ran out of money before then, and before I got there. So anyway, I came home, planned to go out again, but then COVID happened, so I had to wait a few years before I could eventually go out.
Where did you blow all the dosh? You did blow it in the UK or somewhere else?
Oh no, it was in Asia town. Yeah. Spent a lot of money.
How do you spend all that money in Thailand? Because it's not...
Well, it's so cheap, but that's why, because you think, well, I'm a millionaire, Ian.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So COVID happened, you came
So
back
COVID
home.
happened, came back home, and then eventually I got to go back out in October 22, and that was when I went on my own, and it was the best experience I've ever had. I lived out there for 6 months and travelled for 6.
You went on your own?
Yeah.
So you, unlike Liv, who had family reasons to go out there,
Yeah.
did you know anybody who was already out there, or you just went, that's it, I'm doing it and I'm going to meet people?
No, I knew of somebody that was out there, but they were in Perth.
It's a big place.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's about, what, 10,000 miles away?
yeah, that's a 4-hour flight if they wanted to get near me. But yeah, it was a big old move to try it on my own.
When you got there, you found an accommodation, and I guess you were working, obviously.
Yeah. So I started working actually in an ice cream shop, which was great, and I was probably on more money than what a nurse in the NHS is here, which is absolutely bonkers. But yeah, and then I decided to get a job selling Australia to British backpackers, which is where Liv came in.
Really?
So Liv and her partner John were coming out, and I knew John previously through Nando's. I used to work there with him. Anyway, so...
You had a previous relationship?
No.
Oh, you're watching, John? Go on.
So, yeah, so then we met... so he then messaged me to say, can you, get me and Liv a bit of give us an idea of where to go. I said, perfect, yeah, I'm selling, Australia, and especially the east coast of Australia. Okay. So, I got my selling hat on, and that was it. I was away, and I gave them, because I'd been all on the East Coast, so that's going from Sydney all the way up. You're going through the Gold Coast, Brisbane, then you're going Airlie Beach, right up to Cairns, and then that's like the tropical area. And, so we did a trip all the way up there.
It's like going from Lytham to Fleetwood. Not quite.
Not a lot longer.
I was going to say,
how does the Gold Coast compare to Wild Coast?
Do you know what? The Gold Coast, if you probably agree, it's quite similar.
Not too dissimilar to Blackpool.
No, honestly, it's very similar. Yeah. The beach is obviously very different, and the waves are... do you know what? And I think Blackpool Beach is quite clean, I think we're quite a clean beach. But the Gold Coast is it's got all the nightclubs, all the bars. It's very...
Theme parks and casinos, like it's that.
Yeah. So, listen, we're talking Australia here now. So, people who are listening will be thinking, oh, crikey, hang on a minute, is it full of young people? But I guess, listen, it's like everywhere, isn't it? Because you must know the Gold Coast like the back of your hand. How beautiful is it? What can people... go and do? You sold it.
Yeah.
So, if you get people in my age going over, me and the missus, what would you be doing to us? What would you be saying to us? Where would we go?
Well, I'd start you off in Sydney, and then you work your way up the coast. So you can literally get flights between these places, or just get a bus. And the buses they have a Greyhound bus.
Yeah. And
that takes you in between all the areas. But I would say start at Sydney and Byron Bay. Byron Bay is beautiful, isn't it?
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brown snakes there, though, so just be careful for those.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing, isn't it? Snakes. Australia's got, over 100 different species of snake.
Mm. Yeah.
But there's only, 10 to 15 or something that kill you. But brown snakes...
Yeah, they're deadly.
They're deadly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones that seem to be frequenting the beaches.
Yeah, they come on the beaches, and, people are more worried about the sharks, but I'd be more worried about lying on the beach and...
I think I will be.
Seeing that. But my favourite...
You don't be seeing snakes on the beach, do you?
My favourite part, though, of the East Coast is Fraser Island, also known as Kagari Island. So that's the biggest sandbank island in the world, and you can drive 4x4s up and down the dunes, and you literally drive.
So it's a way of reaching it without going over water?
No.
No, so you have to get
a ferry.
So when you get a ferry over there, how long does that take?
The ferry's about half an hour.
Yeah, it's not long.
And then they've got all the services on the island, so you can like rent a buggy. Oh no, how do you...
No, everything is, you've got to get it on land before and then get your ferry over. There's no...
Oh, you see, you drive,
no
you can't onto
shops.
the ferry.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, no shops, literally nothing there.
Hold on a minute.
No petrol. You've got to get enough petrol on mainland before you go over. Honestly, it's crazy, isn't it? But yeah.
And what's to see there then? So if it's just a sand dune, is it?
It's gorgeous. You've got Eli Creek, which is a little creek, and you can get a big floaty. Just start at the top,
Yeah.
float your way down the bottom.
Have they not got saltwater crocs?
It's all fresh water in
Yeah.
there.
Oh, it's all freshwater. Oh, have you got freshwater crocs then?
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
you're
okay.
all right.
So you're safe?
Yeah, you're all right there. But then you've got a massive shipwreck as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
When
Well, for divers.
there's honestly so much, and then at night time there's no light because it's because we stayed on in a tent on a campsite there.
So it's quite a big island then?
Yeah, it's huge, but there's no light. So when you look up into the sky, all you can see is the Milky Way.
That's great. I mean, we experienced that, me and my mate in Canada. We've done a podcast about that.
Yeah.
And just escaping away from it all. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's next level. You'd never get that anywhere in the UK.
No. Well, not many places,
Yeah.
where you get no, what do they call it, light
Light pollution.
pollution. Yeah. What about you, Liv? What part of the Gold Coast did you really find attractive?
Not the Gold Coast, but my favourite place was another island called Magnetic Island. It was just this small little island, and you only really went on one side of it. People would just go up, down one side. But there was beaches, little shops. You had, you could go and feed rock wallabies. That was one of my favourite days was we went and did a hike, took in all the views, came back down, fed the rock wallabies, came back, then went to the beach, and it was just my perfect day.
See, I hear a lot. That is cool, but I hear a lot about hiking, and there's so many beautiful places to see. There's so many sunsets on that coastline in Australia. I don't want to be hiking. For me, I don't want to be going up steep inclines.
Yeah.
I've got a dicky ticker, but I like walking. So, I mean, how popular is it? And is it easy for people just to go and walk? How long are the walks? Are we talking a couple of hours or half? And what are we talking about?
I think it depends where you are. Like there is walks all over the place. Like there's one, so the Sunshine Coast is a place called Noosa, and there's a coastal walk there. So you're along the sea the whole time. Not really that strenuous, and it doesn't take you that long. But you've got rock pools that you can go and swim in, and then if you go a bit further up, you can see the sun setting and the moon rising in the same place, which was very cool.
Let me get the head around that. So you see the sun setting.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're talking here in the summertime, if that's the case, so you would have that window. So the sun going down about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then rising.
Moon would come up. So
Moon's-
they were sort of like opposite each other. It was
Really?
really cool. Yeah.
That is cool. There you go. Listeners,
Yeah.
a cool fact. Where is that? Where did you see that?
Noosa.
And what's the time of year to normally see something like that?
We were there. I want to say we were there October time.
Okay, that's all right. There you go, October time.
Yeah.
So what else happened out there? You didn't just walk. You must have had some good times. You must have had some fun apart from just working.
Yeah, I had all sorts of, I was living in quite a few hostels and, really slumming it for some time. But then I also got a gorgeous flat looking over Bondi. So
Bondi.
Yeah, Bondi. But there's also a
Beautiful bodies.
Yeah. Not for me. You can walk along the coast from Bondi to Coogee along there, and that's another beautiful coastal walk. Whale watching. You can watch all the whales along the coast.
That's
can see
about
them
this
from land.
time of year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So July, summertime.
Yeah, so their winter is perfect whale watching time.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, listen, I imagine people who go to Australia, they're looking at it's like this thing about going to Africa and seeing the big five. So you go to Australia, I've got to go to Sydney, I've got to go and do the harbour.
Yeah.
I've got to maybe go walk over the bridge.
Yeah.
I want to go and see Ayers Rock, and I want to go and see the Barrier Reef and all these things. But that side, there is so much more, isn't there,
Oh my God, yeah.
to Australia?
Well, then you've literally got Melbourne and Perth as well, which are like two major cities in Australia, and you know.
We've not talked about those, have we?
No, and Melbourne's got a beautiful Great Ocean Road which takes you all the way along the bottom coastline. You go to Phillip Island, that's got a little island where penguins come out.
Really?
Yeah, penguins come out from the sea that have been like catching fish for the babies.
Wow.
There's honestly so much, and then Perth, you've got another Rocknest Island. You've got loads of little islands off Australia, which are absolutely glorious.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'll tell you a story about when we was on Fraser Island, and
Go on, then, we'll like a story. Go on, fill us in.
we was in the tent, and well, I wasn't in the tent as of yet, and actually I opened the tent at about as we were just getting ready to go to bed, and I just looked up at this 2-man tent, so you can imagine how small it was, and this almighty spider was there, this huntsman spider on the roof, and I'm not joking, he was like that big, and
That's a big spider.
it was huge, and I ran out and screamed, and everyone came round, and they just saw him, and I'm saying him because he was a nuisance, and he crawled round and out of the tent as if he knew that he shouldn't be there. But all these tents have like 3 layers, and how he got through it, I do not know, but that terrifies me. So yeah, that was my awful story.
Well, you see, a lot of people, my missus she's like, I can never go to Australia. And it's not the flying time that's putting her off. She's going, I can't go to Australia because it's full of creepy crawlies. And I mean, the huntsman's, I guess the bark's worse than the bite.
Yeah,
Safe to say.
yeah, it's the little ones that are the worst. They're the poisonous ones that you
Really?
wouldn't really see. Yeah.
What about you, Liv? What did you see? I mean, talking about wildlife. I mean,
See, we didn't really see that many spiders or snakes. When you go on hikes, you can hear them though, like the dry leaves. You can hear like,
can
you
you?
can hear them running
Little
away.
critters.
Yeah, but yeah, we didn't really see many spiders or snakes. I did see a whale breaching on Fraser Island actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Blowhole and all that and all that.
Yeah, full on like reaching out of the water. It was very, very cool. Yeah, just like there are lots of creepy crawlies. Like when we were on Magnetic Island, the toilets were sort of outside because it was almost like a campsite.
No, that is dodgy.
And I went for a wee, right? I could feel something on my oh my God, what is that?
No way.
Thinking it's a spider or something.
Yeah.
This little stick insect was poking my arm like this and just reaching out as if I was some sort of tree.
Really?
I was like, the relief, because obviously it's not
Yeah.
something that's going to kill me. But what are you doing in here?
Yeah.
So you watched a good journey with Salma Lou. I think can't have that effect on me, something like that. But you're talking about all the animals and things. And we I just said about the big five in Australia, in Africa. But out there, you've got what, kangaroos, wombats, koalas, wallabies, Tasmanian devils.
Oh yeah.
Any of them you saw?
You see loads of koalas
yeah.
and kangaroos, don't you?
Koalas and kangaroos mainly.
Yeah.
I know it's in the zoo, but when we were at the zoo, we saw one of the zookeepers walking a wombat on a leash, as if it was like a dog.
Really?
Yeah, it was just sort of
A wombat
wandering along.
on a leash?
Yeah, it just went for a walk.
Listen, you see every day.
But that's one thing that probably if you go to Australia and say if you hired a camper or
Yeah.
whatever, and that's what you've got to be wary of. If you hit like a kangaroo or a wombat, the car's going to probably come worse off than...
Really?
Yeah, honestly. But you see quite a lot of the wombats, especially because they're like a big boulder.
Yeah, they're just...
And
That's what I was just going to ask you, because those things,
yeah,
they look like a rock.
yeah,
So for somebody who's not sure, would you actually think that was...
yeah. Is that a boulder? Yeah, the furry one.
And it makes some serious damage.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's there's all sorts of stuff that's creepy crawlies as well as, there's just so many beautiful Hamilton Island's in a beautiful area. You've got parakeets that come over onto your balcony and wanting food, and you've just got so much wildlife. Yeah.
How long are you going to stay there? I mean, for people who are going to go out to Australia, is there a minimum time that you would say scheduling? Because for a lot of people, it's going to be a holiday of a lifetime. It's a bucket list. And for many people, if they're over in Australia, they potentially will want to go over to New Zealand, etc. So some of them might want to go into the Pacific, the Cook Islands or what have you.
Yeah.
What would you say is the minimum time to spend there?
I would say if you're just going for a holiday, just your normal holiday, you'd need at least 3 weeks. There is so much to see.
Yes. Yeah, and if people say, oh, well, I'll just go to Sydney for 4 nights and I'll just go to Brisbane for 3 nights and Cairns for a few nights. Honestly, when you're there, there's that much to do. You're never going to be bored. So, if you overestimate and say, right, I'm going to go for 4 weeks, then, you could absolutely fill your time.
And would you recommend that people, obviously, you need to book bases, but then the rest of it, would you say, is there anything that you must pre-book? I mean, I'm guessing if you want to go walk over climb over the Sydney Harbour Bridge, you need to pre-book that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you think that they need to pre-book, or is it all pretty much when you get there ad hoc?
Pretty much so. I would say so. The only thing, if you ever wanted to do it and book a camper van, is that would be you need to book your campers, otherwise you end up with a crap that won't get you around the island, the big island.
Yeah, because of some rubbish ones.
Yeah, make sure you get a good camper. But also even with the I just think with the Harbour Bridge as well, you could probably book that a couple of days before.
Yeah,
everyone, the way of life out there is is unbelievable. It's so relaxed. Nobody's in a rush. It's so chilled. I mean, we could do with taking a leaf out of the Aussies book, to be
not too chilled.
If you don't mind. 4 day a week.
4 days. You got that in, didn't you? Do people use like that aircraft or helicopter to see some of the sights? Do you?
Yeah.
If they're flying around, because I'd imagine Australia, certainly the Barrier Reef, even Ayers Rock to a point, would look completely different from the sky. I mean, talking about being on top, we're sat right next to the airport here. You can probably hear in the background the aeroplane going past or helicopter taking off.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do a helicopter ride over the Barrier Reef. That's quite popular.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen, but there's an image of a reef that sort of looks like a heart. And that's sort of what people get on the helicopter ride.
Whitsundays Reef is like, that is classed as a Great Barrier Reef, obviously. But that works all the way from where Airlie is. And if you look at a map, it goes all the way up. So that's where the Great Barrier Reef is, and that's why it's the biggest reef in the world. But that area has the most beautiful white sanded beaches. And you well, it's more like a glider, I think, and you glide over... over that, and unbelievable views, unbelievable.
Yeah, just the Whitsundays in general is so amazing, and we did like a boat tour around the Whitsundays, which already was so cool. But then the captain of the ship dressed like an actual pirate as well.
Did he?
So think Johnny
Did he go,
Depp, like dreadlocks, pirate hat. He said, "Oh, can't swear, but F it, become a pirate t-shirt every day." And there was one time where we did a lot of scuba diving around the reefs.
Yeah.
Tell me why. Everyone was getting their stuff ready. He just walks to the edge of the boat, grabs a pair of goggles from the thing and just jumps in and just starts swimming. He's fully in his clothes, just jumped in and started swimming. Yeah. It was insane.
Nuts.
That's just how they are. They're just...
So listen, also, listen, what we've got here, we always try and have a little bit of foodie.
Yeah.
That to me looks like a chuffing penguin.
What is it? A bit like a penguin.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a Tim Tam.
A Tim Tam.
Yeah.
So look, Tim Tam. Put my drink down.
Yeah.
Break it. Oh, hey up. It's got toffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, crikey.
Special flavour.
Yeah. What's special about these then?
They're very, very popular in Oz.
Tastes good.
Yeah, they've got some great snacks like violet crumbles, twisties.
Violet crumble.
No. It's kind of like
Bit of apple
crunchy,
kernel.
way better.
Is it?
Yeah.
They're good. So there's any funny food out there?
Crocs.
Food.
Crocodiles
Crocodile.
Yeah, or kangaroo. They have
Kangaroo.
kangaroo burgers.
on the menu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crocs on the menu. Kangaroo. You've got all sorts, really.
Yeah.
Just try that in Blackpool. She put seagulls on the menu.
Tastes very nice.
Listen, before we finish, it's been great talking to you both. And I hope everybody's really enjoyed learning a little bit about your story, about your journey here in the family business, and also, your journey in Australia. Any tips, top tips? You can give me a tip each.
I would say take water wherever you go, because it gets hot, and they've got fountains everywhere as well. You can just go fill up your water bottle.
The geared towards it.
Yeah, and do the hikes for sure.
Hydrate and hikes.
Yeah.
The 2 H's. Mm-hmm. What about you, Leah?
3 H's from house.
From house.
Sorry.
3 H's.
Very
Loving
important. I would say make sure to take, or you can purchase one out there, a sand-free beach towel, because you don't get any sun loungers on the beaches there.
A sand-free beach. I've got a sand-free beach towel at home.
Yeah, honestly,
It's not anywhere near the beach.
it's the best beach towel ever. You literally just take it up, and it just all falls off. And that's what you'll be lying on the beach, because there's no sun loungers. So.
Get me to Nuttall one of them, which takes the grandchildren on Blackpool Beach.
Yeah.
Then she empties it in my truck. Then have to hoover it out.
Just to make sure you know where you live. Bring the
Great tip.
beach home with you.
So you can buy them, sand-free towels.
Beach towels, yeah.
And the 3 H's, there you have it.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been great. As I said, thank you so much for joining us on our Now Boarding podcast. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much. See you now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.